Beyond the immediate dangers of war, displaced Africans from Ukraine faced a harrowing reality. From the chaos of evacuation to the struggle for basic needs and dignity, the intersection of race and ethnicity has impacted this group's mental health, shedding light on experiences often overlooked in the global narrative. Confronting the stark inequalities, these stories reveal the deep scars left by racial discrimination amid war.
All of us had tickets, like we bought it at 3 a.m. at night, barely any sleep. So it's like, I don't know how it works there, but in Germany here, if you buy tickets like for the day, if you miss that one, you can jump on the next train because you've paid your money, right, to the company. So we're not trying anything funny. But there were other Ukrainians who would come speaking Ukrainian as if we don't understand what's going on. And then they get in. Some don't even have any tickets. It's just vibes. So it's like, how would you treat a person like that? And then you see that we're all trying to run for life and you're doing this. It was so bad. That was my first time really recognizing that, wow, so this is how this is going to be. Like, there's going to be tears. So we just turned around to each other and I was really panicking, like, because if we missed that train, we didn't know when the next train was going to come because our original train was supposed to have to come at 10 a.m. And there's a lot of us, right? But we received so much resistance, right? So we left the train station, we came to the bus park, we couldn't get... Again, as we were doing this, every other population as well is trying to do this, right? So foreigners, Moroccans, Turkey, everyone, Germans. There were people there. I saw so many passports, right? Everyone is trying to evacuate because that's the first thing. So the prices just became more and more and more expensive.
It's only when the war started that I experienced now a lot of problems like the racism, and all those stuffs. But not only from the Ukrainian side, but also from this side, from let's say Poland, from Polish people part in the Polish border, because they were dividing us. If you are Ukrainians, they put you aside. You go to the bus. You move, they help you cross the border, and since we are not Ukrainians, and they were letting us sit on the ground, the ground floor, and then telling us to sit down, to stand up, sit down, stand up, and whatever, like giving us orders, like a military camp.
Well, when I got to the border, I was in a state where I don't think I'd ever want to go back there again, because that same experience, I experienced it when I was living in Zimbabwe around 2008, where we had to wait in lines and put a lot of pressure to get simple commodities. So that trauma helped me understand what situation I was in and how to navigate it. We had to push. We had to be extremely strong. We had to be together in one group, pushing because people were pushing this way, that way, and we had to stay strong. There was no sitting down. We did not sit. I remember I did not sit down for close to 2 days.
So eventually, we spoke with one man who came and said he knows a place where another bus stop where we could go and get buses to Warsaw, the capital of Poland. So it's just by luck that we trusted him, right? If we had said, oh my God, you look sketchy, we're not going to trust you, then we'd still have been there. But we just said, okay, let's just trust him. And he said everyone should give him $100. Everyone. You can imagine Africans are money. We complained. We thought, oh, this is his time. Is it for one night? Blah, blah, blah. There's 10 of us. Everyone discussed. Everyone said, okay, we'll pay, right? Because what else are you going to do, right? What was your other option? You're that desperate. Usually, it doesn't cost that much. Because I know people who paid earlier in the day. They paid like 613 hryvnia. That's maybe $20. But we're desperate by then. So everyone, that's like 10 of us. That's $1,000 cash. So he took our money and then paid that and then kept the change. Because that wouldn't cost $100. It would be max $50 or maybe $70. So he... Based for the price of the knowledge that he had, he benefited all. But at that time, you're not suing anybody. You're not complaining. You're just facing forward. So the buses came. So the buses started coming one after the other. And we're trying to get on the bus. We just magically keep finding ourselves at the back.
Since we are not Ukrainian and we are not holding any papers from Ukraine, apart from the resident permit that we're having in Ukraine as a student, they were not leaving us to cross the border. Soldiers, sometimes they were beating us because we want to cross, they don't want us go. We've seen that Ukrainians are crossing the border, so we were just like they're waiting and listening to them. Seen some of my friends collapsing because of the weather. It was very cold and nobody was eating, nobody was sleeping. So some people were, fainting, and then some people also. So I had even two friends from Guinea who died in that period. We saw them, but what can we do? We can't do anything. We were trying to call the Red Cross, but nobody was coming. So basically, what we did, we can't do anything. So we left them there. Then we continue till today.
All you're trying to do is make sure you're holding what you have with you. Because as we were walking, you could see bags. Like people were leaving things. Because you could realize, you know what? It's better I leave one bag and I continue with the journey. Or else you would not make it. So at that time, I had lost all my friends. We had all been separated. They were now in different areas. I do not know where they were. Black women were not allowed to pass. Only Ukrainian women and their children were allowed to pass. All of us international students were put on the side. They would say, if you want to pass, you have to bring 3 or 5 Ukrainian women, then would allow 2 black men to pass. I was lucky enough, I just got through. A lot of people were now jumping, and as they were jumping through the fence, the police would come for them, beat them, throw them over, and then try again. Because there was no movement. I understand that, people need to, we could all make a line to go forward, but when there's no movement, and you see another group of people being allowed to move and pass, and you're being treated like you're not coming from the same situation as them, it was hard. It took me 2.5 days. From the time we left, because I left on the 24th, 8 p.m., I crossed finally 26th in the evening. That's the time we finally got to the side of the Polish border, and our government officials were waiting for us there. Zimbabwean embassy, they had sent people, they have students who were in Lublin, other cities who had volunteered to come and help us and take us to, somewhere safe where we can get clothes and food and just to rest.
For Ukrainians, as you know, the first thing when they came to France, what they did, they gave them, let's say, the temporary resident for 6 months, and that they will renew and give them another permit for 3 years. So basically, they have 3 years of resident permit in France for the first time. So actually, they were having a lot of assistance and a lot of benefits than us. We no assistance, nobody is supporting us, nobody is giving us food, nothing. What is the difference between us? We all coming from a war zone. The war is there, they destroy whatever we are having there. So now nobody has anything. But why there is a difference between them, between us and the Ukrainians? So this is what I ask myself all the time, because maybe we are Africans, or we are not Ukrainians, or maybe we don't look like Ukrainians. Maybe this is one of the reasons. Things are very easy for them and very difficult and complicated for us. Still now, I don't understand why.
Now we were inside, we have gone in the main border crossing, and I remember a lot of people really, we felt segregated. They divided us, and you could feel the animosity between people. People were screaming at each other. People were calling each other out. Ukrainians were being called, we need to go back to Africa. It was not good at all. You had to ask yourself, were these the same people I was staying with all this time? Because before that, I had never experienced anything like that. And this war kind of really showed people's true colors to some extent. That, when people are put in a certain situation, you can kind of get to see what and how they feel. So at the border, yes, there were so many times we faced racism. We really did not feel like we were not wanted at all. They made sure that we felt that.
I was exhausted. Let's say, I lost my memory at a point. I don't know what I was doing. When I see someone, wearing the heart, I may think maybe the person is having a dog in his head. I was seeing this kind of stuff. So I lost my memory control and everything. And I even lost some of my, document that I was having on me. I didn't know what was going on. When I hear some little noise, I'm afraid, and then it just, I used to shout a lot in the in the evening. I was thinking maybe the Russians they have come to Poland also, so I was not having a peaceful mind. So at that point, I was even sick at a point because I don't know what to do. Started having depression. I was not sleeping in the night. Sometimes when I sleep, I'm dreaming about war. I don't know what to do. I was actually hopeless. But the connectivity between, Ukrainian and the foreigners was not that, it was not that good because the integration is so hard in Ukraine.
I still personally don't feel like I belong, but I have felt that people in Warsaw have been nice enough to welcome us. I've met a number of people from Ukraine, a lot of Polish people. So Warsaw itself is a very nice city, but it's been difficult, especially if you do not have like a permanent place where you can call home. That makes it very, very difficult to be able to feel like finally you have settled somewhere. I feel like once you have a place where you can call, okay, this is my small place I can call home, it's easier to settle down and plan ahead. But before that, it's very difficult.
So I would just tell them to do what they can to think about the future of those citizens who are trying, struggling to make things work and make things better. And, you know, also help them to be respected. Because I think if you see like we are, undergoing all this hard time at this point, they know maybe we are worthless, you know, maybe they don't expect anything from us, or maybe we are worthless, we don't have any value. So they need to really work on that to put value on their citizens, show their importance, and help them have a better future into their countries, their different countries, instead of leaving them go abroad and then stay there for a long period of time.
Being African in Poland, you get to know and realize that you are a minority, and it is very difficult sometimes to see how people treat you just because of who you are and how you look. Because I would not treat them differently if they were in any other situation. But I feel like at a certain point, with all the experience I've been through, the racism kind of makes me numb to a lot of the situations where my other fellow Africans would tell me, "Oh, I've been through this, I've been through this." I feel like I no longer see it and I just brush it off. I feel like I excuse a lot of people for I'm like, okay, they're just having a bad day. They're just having this. But I'm like, no, it's not right. At the end of the day, it's not right. People should not be treated like this. There aren't any resources that I know that the government necessarily provides for Africans coming from Ukraine. The only resources we have gotten is from organizations like NoirUnited International that have come into Poland, different cities, and
I would just tell them we are all human beings. There is no difference between us. There is any difference, we are all human beings. So whatever they know they are applying to their citizens, they should also take into account for those foreigners coming to their country to treat them better, because I actually don't understand someone coming from war, escaping from bombs, escaping from tank, with all these hard conditions to come here and be experiencing more than that. Because actually, they are trying. I'm not saying that they are trying, but they are draining us. Mentally, physically, whatever. They are trying to drain us, drain our mindset. And they make us, useless in the world. So, and I don't think this is fair.
It's hard knowing that there are so many things that other people have been awarded and we aren't being given the chance to. It's very hard because we were all in Ukraine. We all did not want to leave Ukraine. I never had a plan of, this was not in my book of plans saying I want to be in Warsaw. I had a plan of staying in Ukraine, graduating, and then making a decision of what to do next. It just does not feel fair when you are told that, what, your country is safe, you can go back home. I don't wish this on anyone. I don't wish this on literally anyone in this world.
This was my first experience in life, and I don't wish to see this kind of situation again in my life. Because for now, it has affected me like in every, let's say in every part of my life. It has affected every part of my life. Everything is black on your eyes, your mind, you don't even know, you don't have any target anymore, you don't have any aim in life anymore. Because when you ask me currently, what is my aim or what is my goal in life, I will tell you I don't know. Because the situation that I'm experiencing, I even don't know where I am.
We are resilient, we are strong, but we do not always have to be strong. We are all the same, and these situations teach us and a lot of people that we need to help our own countries to get to a point where we do not need to come to other places where we are not exactly wanted, because no one chooses to leave their home, where their parents are, where they grew up, where everything to them, where they are just another person. They do not need to worry about who they are, what they look like. You're just you. What I would tell any other African leader or anyone in positions of power in Africa, I would tell them that it is us, the young generation, that are going to be able to take Africa to where it needs to be. And they need to make sure that we have the resources that we need wherever we are. Because at the end of the day, we are your citizens.
It's heavy. It's very heavy. And it just makes you move, you don't move with confidence. You're always hesitating, like caring about how you come across. Oh my God, am I coming across entitled if I ask for this? When it's just a basic thing. Probably even housing is a basic human right, right? So just the emotional and physical toll it's taking, not just on me, right? Not just on me. But at least I've heard of at least 3 Nigerians that have passed away under semi-suspicious, circumstances, right? So it just feels like we're under the radar and no one cares. I think that's the part that hurts the most.
But when you ask me about that right now, I will tell you my dream is a little bit blurred. My dream is a little bit blurred, so actually I don't know how my life is going on. I'm hopeless, jobless. I don't wish to be homeless currently in France, otherwise something different. Maybe the only thing that, giving me hope at this time, it's because I have somewhere to sleep. And despite that the condition is not that good where I'm sleeping, I'm saying maybe in the future it will be better.
I think it is important for Black people to support one another, because no one is going to be there who will support you the way other Black people will support you. We look alike. We have gone through the same experiences. We know what it is to be Black, and other Black people should come and help each other, because when one of us goes up, we're able to lift the other one up. So as we all step on the ladder, we're helping the next person climb the ladder as easy as possible. So yes, I think it is very important for other Black people to help each other, because that's the only way we can build our community.
These narratives not only highlight the resilience of the human spirit, but also underscore the urgent need for a comprehensive, equity-driven response to this crisis. The courage displayed in the shared stories of those displaced from Ukraine offer a beacon of hope and a call to action for a more equitable and intersectional approach to humanitarian responses.
Equal rights for all refugees.